Hey, g'day, hi, welcome. Let's try this. Nice clean. Marvelous. Got my chainy saw boots today. I don't know how much chainy sawing I'm going to do today, but okay, enough of that. It just gets it clean, and that third one is the one that makes the mess. Aging silver pellet. Nice and warm this morning, so so hopefully everybody survived the eclipse yesterday. Pretty sure things are about to get a little bit crazier than you imagine, but I won't talk about that on this channel. But you can see that on my BitChute. A lot of biblical stuff, whether you believe it or not, but a lot of insane people at the top do. So we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff happening. Watch out for red heifers, that's all I'll say. Anyway, somebody had asked me about electric chainsaws. They're like, Reg, what is your professional opinion on electric chainsaws? Well, they didn't quite ask it like that, but I'd like to think they did, because then it makes me feel important. I've only ever used one. I don't know what kilowatts, kilojoules it was. Not kilowatts, but kilowatts. That'd be a pretty powerful saw. You cut the planet in half with that. Kilojoules, I don't know how many kilojoules it was. This one, it was a Still, or was it a Milwaukee? It was Bob's. Remember my old shooting partner, Bob? Yeah, it was his son's, and we'd used it, and I cut something with it, a bunch of things with it, and he swore by it. He said, oh yeah, he says, you cut all day with it. I'm like, yeah, every time somebody says you cut all day with something like that, it's like 20 minutes of cutting. You know what you mean? Max. Oh, there's a little doggy. Well, he's not little, he's an old dog. He doesn't stay in his yard though. Too close to the highway, he's going to get hit. Nice dog though. I forget what his name is. I petted him a few times. Barks at me when I go by, but if I stop and pet him, I pet him. I mean, that's why he's probably barking. Hey, come over here and pay the dog tax. But don't want anything to happen to poor little bugger if he's too close to the road. Too close to the road. Anyway, back to the electric chainsaw. Well, I myself don't really need one at this time. I can get away with the gas-powered stuff for most of the jobs I do, because most of the jobs I do are bigger trees, you know, that kind of stuff, right? And where you would use the gas-powered saw. And if you're going to be working at it all day, you know, like, the thing with the gas-powered stuff, or the electric stuff, is the batteries are stupid expensive. Like, you buy like a drill, for example, and the battery's like 3 times the price of the drill. Like, how is that even possible, right? I don't know. I don't have enough experience on it to say swear by it or swear at it. I do see where they would be handy for lighter stuff. My aunt has a little electric chainsaw. She loves it for like little branches and stuff like that. But she's not out there 8 hours a day with it, right? So if you were in a situation where it was a noise-sensitive area, where, you know, your neighbors are going to complain, you're going to cut down on a lot of volume with the electric. That I can see as an advantage there. So, like, disturbance-wise, because I watched a video last night. There was a guy cutting stove wood in like a rural resident, like a suburb, right? And the logs were kind of like out on not on the street, but right beside the street. And I'm like, man, his neighbors must hate him, because that saw's going to be going for 2 or 3 days there. You know what I mean? Unless he's got really understanding neighbors. But you know what most neighbors are like. You drop a pin and they complain, right? Maybe not up here, but other times if you're at a client's place and they work from home or something like that, that could, you know, a regular chainsaw might be kind of disruptive. So it is something that I wouldn't put a priority on, but I do see a against them. Like, I'm not against like battery powered stuff. I like the concept because it is cleaner, no gas. Well, you'd still have to have bar oil, I'm sure, for the electric saw. I'm pretty sure you still have to have bar oil. But yeah, no, if it's cleaner in that sense, but it's the manufacturing of the batteries. You know, it is pretty dirty, but in comparison to what other things that, you know, like, we mine all kinds of stuff, not just batteries, right? So it's just, what do you do with the batteries when you're done, you know? At least the trees can, you know, if you don't cut them all down, they can absorb the exhaust fumes from your chainsaw, you know, and you know, like it's less environmental pollution than a lot of people make out to be. Because it's like, you know, like, if you take, like, Canada, for example, we are really net neutral. It's just because there's money in the climate change stuff for the politicians. Oh, there's a climate crisis. There's no climate crisis, but anyway, that's what they promote, right? And the thing is that it doesn't take much to clean up, like the trees do, they're a filter system, right? So there's not enough chainsaws in the world to really cause that much pollution. And even though there's millions and millions of chainsaws, right? There's not enough. They can't produce enough CO2 to be a problem. So it's kind of a non-issue, and the fuels that you're burning in your chainsaws are getting cleaner, and the emission standards on the chainsaws are burning cleaner. You know, like, they're more fuel efficient. Like, I'm a big fan of the Still chainsaws and stuff like that. And they have that M-tronic system, which adjusts itself accordingly. So